Welcome back, children. This is Ram Film Reviews.
I am Randall, and this is my awesome, amazing friend Mac, and we're back here with another feast of a review.
Yes, we have special sloppy seconds for you guys. We already ate. We're gonna
it's gonna come with a happy finish.
Definitely. So we're gonna give you our sloppy seconds.
Woo!
So hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's good mentally. I know we haven't really talked about mental health, but you're always welcome here to talk to us.
That is correct.
This is another triple feature, which Randall here has not watched.
I have not. And you couldn't recall.
From part 1, yes. Part 2 and 3, I haven't watched these films, well, part 2 and 3 since 2010-ish, maybe, give or take. Because, yeah, part 1 came out in 2005? Or 2009? Yeah, 2005.
Yeah, 5.
Then part 2 came out in 2009, I believe, and part 3 about 2010. So, this is the triple feature. It came out about that year, 2010, 2011. So, Feast was directed by Mr. John, was it how you pronounce it? Gulager? Which he's done Piranha 3DD, and other, well, he was a part of Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's
Greenlight Productions project,
yes.
That where they go ahead and look at different directors and filmmakers that want to try and put a film out, and then they go ahead and help produce and also find financing for. So the first movie was fortunate enough to pick up a 3.2 million. So a 3.2 million budget. Unfortunately, the box office response to it did not equal that.
It was a good 700,000 box office wise.
Yeah, but it did lead up to them being able to produce the movie and put it out there and test the water with a project that they were passionate about. And what I mean by that is it basically is a family project because it involves John Gulager, which is the director.
Yeah.
It involves Tom Gulager. It involves,
which is an actor,
Clu Gulager, which is the old man, the bartender. Tom comes in for the second movie.
Yeah, Clu Gulager, and if you remember him, he's from Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
He's what's his name? Bert, the old man.
Yeah.
From Return of the Living Dead. He's been in several other horror movies. I can't recall him, but he's been in westerns too.
Yeah, he's old school. He's
literally old school.
Clu is he's been in it for a minute. He almost could play the role of Joe Biden. That's what I kept seeing every time I saw him. I just kept thinking,
I see that. Yeah,
Joe Biden. Joe, I can just see him finger gunning things.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get political. Don't worry. It's just a reference.
And just like Joe Biden.
Oh God.
Clu, doesn't have a clue. Giggity. But yeah, so you have not good actors in it. You have some cameos. But yeah, back to the production line. So yeah, producers that were involved in this.
He was a lot. Jesus.
Yeah. He was born 1928. He's still alive and kicking.
He's done quite a few movies and more than quite a bit of appearances in TV, dating as far back as 1964 for movies, and as recent as 2019 for the documentary on Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Oh yeah, he was Mr. Walsh in Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Correct.
Which is the pool scene. The family, the mom and dad that let the kids have a little pool party. I believe that was them.
Yeah.
Ah shit! All right, Merle. Welcome back. Here we go again.
And on TV, he started it in 1956, and continued doing TV all the way up to 1996, when he was on Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, which classic show from the 90s. A lot of people that watched a lot of daytime TV during those times would remember Dr. Quinn very, very well.
Yeah, I was saying, the producers of this film had took part of making this film. Wes Craven was one of them.
Yeah.
Like I said, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. So there were actually supposed to be some actors in the film, but they pulled that out. Had others fill in for them. So Randall, once I showed you the box,
well,
what'd you think of it? What's up?
Well, just in case, just to reference the Project Greenlight thing a bit. So Project Greenlight was like a documentary television series, almost like Making the Band with P. Diddy or whatever type of thing, but with film directors and stuff like that. So that's how they would try and get people to, or at least get more movies made from smaller people who don't find the funding and don't have the opening to be able to do things like this.
Yeah, what you mentioned was just like a Kickstarter nowadays.
Basically, it was basically like a crowdfunding, but with reality TV-esque nature to it in a way. Went for 4 seasons, total 42 episodes for Project Greenlight. Nice. This one was one of the winners when it comes to, or they were able to at least receive the financing and the title head from Wes Craven, Ben Affleck, and Matt Damon, which helped support and push for the movie to be made. And what you were stating is, that Ben Affleck was supposed to appear in it, Matt Damon was supposed to appear in it, and not only that, but even Mark Wahlberg.
Mark. He was supposed to have a scene in this film, but got all those roles turned down. Yeah, Mark, he said no, he wasn't going to be a part of it. Yeah. Which would have been fun. I mean, it wouldn't have made the movie, any different. It was just, Mark. So
and Feast was the main attraction for season 3 of Project Greenlight. Okay, nice. So that's when it got its push, and they got a limited theatrical release, and then went straight to DVD. With the limited theatrical release, it might be the reasoning for the budget that they ended up getting back in the box office that they got.
Understood.
Yeah, that could be a reason to why they tested it out there and said, "All right, it's not gonna make the money back. Just take it out now." And then it ended up coming out on DVD in October of 2006, which is Feast number 1. Now, what you were going to say. I looked at the box art. I saw monsters with big teeth.
Yeah.
That's all I saw, and it's called Feast. So immediately I'm thinking something similar to Aliens. Something in that realm.
Okay.
That's kind of like the idea that I was thinking I was going to be walking into. I felt like there was going to be more jump scare push to it. Mm-hmm. Something more of that nature. None of that. None of that.
They went for a good...
There was a mixture of humor.
A lot. I think it was a lot of humor.
Yeah, no, it's a mixture of humor with a bit of action.
Which, there was supposed to be a lot more action, but they cut that off and stuck to the gore. A lot of gore.
The first one didn't have as much gore as the other ones, but it did have a decent amount of gore. Mm-hmm. But all around, the first one was, to me, not a terrible movie.
Not at all.
I enjoyed it. I thought storyline alone was pretty decent. The only thing that bugs me and will bug me forever is not knowing, and because you never find out, where the monsters came from, and why they are here.
Mm-hmm. Why were they in the so basically, it starts off in a tavern in Nevada, just the middle of the desert, of course. Mm-hmm. There's a few characters, like a wild card, bunch of characters.
It's very cliche.
Yeah.
You have your bad boy, you have your gambler, you have the one you pity because he's in the handicap chair.
Yeah, he's disabled.
You have the lonely single mother.
Yeah,
you have
waitress. The head honcho, right? We said the boss man, right?
Yeah, you have the head honcho, the boss man. You have
you got the hero, the heroine.
You get all the cliche things you would get in any movie, which right off the bat kind of gave you a feeling of, okay, kind of parody. You know, not going full parody, but kind of parody at that point. And then it got more parody with the one-liners.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, too, the, Fat Stoner. AKA the beer guy.
Beer guy, yeah.
Which he's like, he takes little roles in certain movies.
He was in, what's this show with Tina Fey and the one who's hating life right now, Alec Baldwin.
Oh, Dirty Rock?
Yeah, he was in 30 Rock.
I haven't watched
For
that.
a lot. He was in 30 Rock a lot.
But yeah, like what Randall said. So basically the movie starts off in a tavern. Just all these characters going about. Yeah, he is a comedian. Going about their daily lives. And then out of nowhere, just somebody comes in rushing in. Gotta lock this place down. Something's coming.
Judah Friedlander.
Oh, I wouldn't have guessed that's his name. Judah Friedlander.
Yeah, a lot of people recognize him because he's always the guy with like kind of like a mullet style hair with a trucker hat. Always in that, but a lot of people would recognize him from 30 Rock.
Oh, I see.
He's a regular in 30 Rock. A lot of people might remember him from he was in Flight of the Conchords also. He was in Curb. Yeah, he was in a few things, but he was he was one of the more recognizable faces in the first movie. Right? Yeah, he was the most recognizable face in the first movie.
Well, one of them. Then you had the smaller cameo of I'm not. Should we say it? I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Jason Mewes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Jay from Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, but I think he has more. Of a
bigger
reputation
role,
than. Yeah. I mean, I love Jason Mewes because whoever doesn't, follow Kevin Smith and Clerks, whatever, you're the ones that live in the darkness of not knowing the greatness that is Kevin Smith and Clerks and all
Smooch.
that. Yeah. But Jason Mewes does play a small cameo role in here. Not long lived, and they do that throughout like the entire series. They do small cameos.
When they show each character, they have like this little still frame. They show their job, occupation. What is it? Their life expectancy, or that's the word, expectancy, right?
Yeah, life expectancy.
And then something else.
Yeah, it's either like a motto.
Three things. Or
like
something.
They changed it up. It was either like a motto. It was name, job, occupation. And the life expectancy in the first movie, and then the second movie they did different stuff. But
particularly they didn't mention that.
They did the they did for some reason they did like the biography shots, like where it's him standing in front of the camera saying, "I do this."
Black and white. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. But keeping on with the first one before jumping all the way to part 2. But You had the cameo from Jason Mewes. Short-lived, awesome death for him too.
It's crazy how I haven't really seen that in a movie like that. It was so these monsters are quick as hell.
Yeah, the costumes, like the monsters looked great. The monsters looked great.
But it took a while to actually reveal them.
Yeah,
because in the beginning it was just a bunch of shakiness, close-up shots. I mean, as a viewer, I was like, "Fuck, what do they look like?" They had the monsters had costumes on, like to deceive you of what they really look like.
Yeah, in the first one, that's right. They were wearing like skin of their the other dead people, kind of very Texas Chainsaw-ish thing there, but or Ed Gein-ish or whatever,
And then we have the one you made me realize who it was, Henry Rollins.
Oh yeah, Henry Rollins was in the first one too. Actually, yeah, he's another name. Yeah, Henry Rollins from Black Flag.
He's AKA the coach. With all these.
He was fantastic as that character. He was annoying but fantastic.
Yeah, he played the character to the T. And all these
he kept
advices.
He kept on doing motivational speeches.
What was one that I was kept laughing? Is like, because we gotta show these monsters we're not vulnerable, we're formidable.
Yeah,
and he's like trying to like hype them up and shit.
Yeah, we gotta unite. Yeah. And this is a fight for the species.
Yeah,
monster versus man, and we need to show them that we will group together, bond, and Pito.
And yeah, and then nobody was hyped up, but
Nope.
at least they followed one or two of his plans.
Yeah, they followed one and it went terribly.
So Murrow had said, "It's me. He's the fat stoner." Hey, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might want to take a look at this movie before.
At least the first one.
Before you choose that character. He has a horrible death. So yeah, mind you, about these characters, it says the life expectancy. Some say, oh, they're gonna live.
A lot of it was foreshadowing.
Something to throw you off as well.
Or they would do things like in the third one is when they really got more into that foreshadowing thing. But they would do things like there was one guy who plays the hero role, right? And he's like the first person that breaks into the tavern to let you know, hey, there's things coming. And they look like this, and he had already a decapitated head of one. And
which I actually liked that because I was like, "Fuck, what happened? What was his version?" But when they showed his version, I was like,
yeah,
it was nothing too
whack.
good.
Yeah, he was no real big hero at that point. But
that's true.
when he's in there, he goes, "I'm the one who's gonna save your ass." And at this point, you see his life expectancy is saying, really fucking good. He's a hero.
Yeah.
Immediately dies. And I don't care if I'm spoiling that. It's in the fucking trailer. If you watch the trailer, it happens right away. His death scene is great. Oh. But it was hilarious how they did it. And then that's when I was like, oh, so those life expectancy things like that they put down there can be fucked with a lot. I just noticed I have Diary of the Dead right there.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, shit.
Stack. Sorry, that's a whole different thing.
It was a trailer for Diary of the Dead. We're talking about it.
And that said I hadn't seen it, but then I'm looking and I have it like right fucking there. But I still haven't watched it. Anyway, continuing.
Yeah, we're talking about something, your mind just veers off and pays attention. It happens to everybody.
Absolutely.
So, so immediately after that scene, just bursts into his wife, "Where's my husband?" And we're like, oh my god, there's more people.
Yeah.
So,
but ultimately, I will say the first one was a good movie. Only frustrating parts about it are the lack of information, which I can get if you already knew you were going to get the sequels, and the sequels were going to give you more information, but you ultimately never get any information at all.
Exactly.
So that's one thing that frustrates me about the film series as a whole. The one-liners and certain cliches they pushed on a little too heavy. And I know one that bothered you the most, which is, "I have a daughter."
Yeah, so it was what we
heroine.
We learned from watching Battle Royale. They used, what was that term that they kept repeating? Was it Battle Royale or a different movie? They kept repeating like certain lines, like, "Oh, we got to do this," just a certain plot.
Yeah.
So the
redundant or repetitive, repetitive staging.
Yeah, exactly.
Repetitive staging where they would just reference or bring back a theme too many fucking times in this situation, and they did it a lot with the heroine character.
Yeah, the wife that bursts in.
The heroine, whatever you want to say.
After her husband dies.
And yeah, she just keeps on repeating consistently, like 4 or 5 times. It reminded me so much of Tommy in Halloween Kills, and it bothered me.
Oh.
Because that's the one thing that bothered me in Halloween Kills, was giving me the same fucking speech 10 fucking times.
Yeah, exactly. So
it was always like, "I have a daughter. I have a reason."
Yeah, this is for my daughter. I got to see my daughter. My daughter's waiting for me. It was like,
yeah.
At this point, like, it's like, yo.
And the long
forget about your daughter.
The long extended close up of the picture of the daughter and the necklace.
Yeah, her necklace.
It was like she had another necklace, and they did a zoom up, and for some reason the zoom in felt like such a filler because it was just like such a slow zooming. They were like, "I already see the face. All right, move on."
Yeah,
I already see the face. Move on.
It was a lot of fillers.
Listen, I see the face. Move the fuck on. And then all of a sudden it was like all the way to the right at the fucking necklace. It's like, dude, I saw the face like 10 minutes ago. Move the fuck on.
Not only that, I think they already had showed a flashback about.
Yeah, they showed the flashback, but I mean, I can understand them giving the glimpse. Like, I get the flashback and then giving a glimpse, but that long, extended glimpse was completely unnecessary. There was a lot of filler. Mm-hmm. Maybe they wrote too short a script and they needed to have a certain length for the full feature film.
Well, yeah, if you focus on the gore and these killings and all that, you're gonna have to add, fillers and like scenes that
I mean, I can understand filler, but I can understand filler that has something that adds something to this. This was just repeating.
Added more hate. Towards the
this was just repeating the same shit, and it becomes that thing where it's just like, dude, I just want you to fucking die. Like, now I don't want you to see your daughter because you've repeated it to me like 10 fucking times. I get it, but you're supposed to be coming in here as the next hero person, and then you, God.
Yeah, so basically, their story is that they left their daughter with her mother, and again, it's Nevada. It's out in the desert, so you only see that house, and that's it. They drive off, middle of the road. They crash into.
They crash into one of them.
One of the monsters, and then the monsters are after them to get revenge. And then that's when they enter the tavern.
Supposedly.
True, that's their version. Right.
I mean, that was the believed theory, was that, you tracked them here.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but we find out later on in part 2 and 3 that's different. But the way the hero character that starts and says, "I'm gonna save you all," and he walks in with a decapitated head. The reason the fucking thing got decapitated is because he crashed into it without even noticing it was there. So he wasn't even a hero, motherfucker. You just got lucky,
right? You think he just decapitated this monster after a certain battle, which was it's gonna take in the tavern here.
Yeah.
What else would you say? I mean, the creative killings were funny. I like that. What's up?
Again, yeah. Following up with that, it's true. The killings, the death scenes were really well done. The way the owner died, the way they sacrificed the biker chick. They sacrificed a biker chick. Mm-hmm. They believe she's dead because she lost her leg. And she bled out a lot, so they figured, she's dead. She was passed out completely. And then all of a sudden, they strapped a bomb to her to go ahead and push her out the window. And
for distraction, they can go out the back.
To use it as a plot point, which would have made sense, would have worked great, and all that shit. And then right when they're about to push her out, she wakes the fuck up, and they realize she's not dead. One of the guys is like, "Nope, she's dead," and they proceed to pushing her out the window regardless.
Which makes the situation more like...
And not even push them out, because really they kind of get her out, and all of a sudden the monsters come and take her anyway.
Right, yeah.
And then start literally banging her face.
Yeah, we'll get to that banging in a bit. But what I like is you barely see any CGI in this film.
Yeah, the first one, again, they didn't go heavy on the special effects.
A lot of props. Just
it was more of the costumes. I think the only special effects that they used, if any, was that explosion.
True.
The explosion when they send the biker chick out, or when she gets taken out and she's getting banged in the face by one of these animals, these monsters.
Yeah.
They trigger it for her to blow up and kill whatever's around.
Yeah, so I mean, you might be thinking, banging her in the face.
And that's very, very literal.
These are not just your regular... I'm gonna kill you or wound you monsters. These monsters are, by the title of the review.
Yeah.
What was it that you put?
Deadly monsters with a strong libido.
So monsters killing, fucking in the middle of killing.
Their sex drive is insane, and all they want to do is have sex. Pretty much, it looks like. They want to kill, and they want to eat. But they for example, they kill one of their babies, and the humans kill one of their babies, and give it back out to them to show them, hey, we killed one of yours. Don't fuck with us. Yeah. And what does the monster do? He eats his own dead baby, and then they proceed to bang and produce another baby instantaneously.
Yeah. Which it's funny because they thought it was just shitty, but it produced. What does
Merle says, "Enjoy some face banging, relatable."
Relatable.
Yeah. So, you know, that humor part of it, I enjoyed because I thought it was funny as hell. Like how they handled a lot of it, including there's a scene in the movie as well where actually when they're releasing the biker chick out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it that point? No. This is when they're this is right before. This is when the guy's in the fucking room trying to make the SOS call using the radio.
Okay.
Right? And then the key breaks and they can't get the guy out of the fucking room, and they're finally they're able to get him out the room.
Right before
the monster comes in, and for some reason the monster decided to be like, you know what, I'm gonna put my genitalia ahead of me.
Well, they're naked. With
Still though.
Monster suits on them, but not fully clothed.
Still though, genitalia was far ahead, and for some reason got fully caught on the door.
They're closing the
balls
door.
And all, balls and all, and ends up getting chopped right there.
Which is the schlong looked like an anteater's nose. And
Yeah.
it was just wow. Yeah. It was just funny as hell.
Yeah, they did.
Nobody's expecting a monster penis and balls to be shown on screen, so you're just left like, what the fuck?
I mean, the only other movie that I know did that I can think of is like Wolf Cop.
Sure, that was funny. That was
Wolf Cop did it, and Wolf Cop not only did show you a monster like dick, they showed you the transformation
of a monster
from human to wolf.
A monster human penis to a monster.
Yeah.
Wolf.
Fucking Wolf Cop is great. Wolf Cop is amazing.
Yeah,
I fucking love that movie.
I watched it with him. I already knew about it, but I hadn't watched it.
Yeah, but I've already introduced it to a few people because I just can't stop sharing that movie. But ultimately, first movie, fun. I believe well written, acted. Aside from like Judah, aside from Henry, Clue obviously was fucking great.
Show,
Clue was fucking great through everything. But some of the other actors and people who played different roles in there were more like TV movie actors for me than full on Hollywood kind of actors. Which makes sense with the low budget, 3.2 mil. That includes everything. You're talking about set design, costume work, editing, everything that comes into this. So that's a really small budget considering everything you have to have on there. But I would say it's a movie that I would tell people to watch, at least the first one.
First one, at least, by yourself, with friends. I did remember, I think I watched this back, like I said, 2010, as a triple feature too, back to back. And I was under the influence back then and enjoyed it way more. So, Merle, I know you're watching. Get a little high and watch this film, and you'll be all right, bro. But,
especially like the later ones.
Oh yeah, part 2.
But okay, so let's go to what matters here. Part 1.
Part 1.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Who are you in this movie?
Oh.
Are you...
Again, I already knew you were going to ask this, and I was thinking about it ahead of time. But then again, there's scenes where these actors just do some stupid choices. Like I get it, they did it for the comedy reasons. But, it's like, who in their right mind would do this? I get it, put in the situation, but... who would I be?
Yeah, which character do you portray the most? Obviously, like, you're not going to be fully one character. But which one do you believe more so you'd be more like? You have, you had Jason Mewes, who's just like whatever.
Oh, yeah, he plays himself, so it's just Jason Mewes as himself.
You have the gambler that kind of starts to turn his life around, yeah.
Bozo, yeah.
Bozo. You have
Beer guy,
which
is the stoner. Yeah, dumb guy, give or take a little bit.
Yeah. You have bartender.
Old timer, bartender.
You have
boss man.
Yeah, the boss man. You have
Cody.
Oh yeah, poor Cody.
Little kid.
Oh my god. Damn, you know what I just realized is they didn't only kill one kid.
In the whole franchise?
Yeah.
So yeah, the feast, there is a scene of
we'll get to the later one.
There are children in this movie.
But the first one, Cody, which is the son of of the waitress, right? She's
yeah,
waitress,
her name's Tuffy in this one. Tuffy, yeah.
She tells her kid, stay upstairs, and then when she realizes what's going on, she runs upstairs. Oh my god, Cody, where are you? And he wasn't where he was supposed to be. And all of a sudden she turns around, he's right there. She's like, oh my god, I'm never gonna leave you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No more Cody.
No more Cody.
Yeah.
All you got left of Cody was a shoe.
A shoe. But
that would, dude, I'm telling you, that for me was fantastic.
Yeah, I was well
that
shot.
For me was like, okay, they don't give a fuck. This is just gonna be fun. This is gonna be a fun ride.
Which I know some people don't like when children get killed, animals, elderly, etc. But to me, when a movie shows a child being murdered or get killed, I think it's great in a sense.
If it makes sense to the story,
yeah,
it's one thing.
Yeah, and it's great in the sense that damn, they took it this far. They have the balls, to do that, which. In that sense, I like it.
When it's not for just shock value, I'm okay with it. But it's just flashing back to when they're doing the flashes of their fucking stat card, basically we'll call it that. Mm-hmm. The handicap kid. Life expectancy.
Hot Wheels, yeah.
The life expectancy was they wouldn't kill a disabled guy, would they?
That was it. It wasn't like, he's going to live a long life.
Yeah.
Or he's going to die immediately. They wouldn't kill the disabled person, would they?
Yeah.
With a question mark and everything. So.
He said, Merle said, you had me at Monster Schlong. Yeah.
Ain't no party with like a Monster Schlong party.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, like I said, everybody, how would I say, they focus on, the disabled, the dumb blonde, fat stoner, kids.
A lot of cliche characters.
In part one, basically, yeah. Cliche type.
I mean,
stuff.
they did cliche through the entire fucking thing. The entire series, they did cliche. All right. I placed myself...
Oh, rating time.
No.
Oh, you... Wait, I didn't even answer your question.
You did not.
It's because I have it more like what I'd survive type. I already have that in my mind.
Well, I mean, I was going to ask that, too.
As a character...
Which character do you feel you identified more with?
Can I mix them? Or just have to be one character?
No, make it one character.
One character?
Yeah, because then the survival is going to be your mix.
So, alright, then I'd say Bozo. Yeah.
I think I'm Muse.
Jason Mewes?
Yeah, I'm just going to keep playing pool until my face gets seen off.
Alright. I didn't think you were going to pick him since he was just short-lived.
Yeah, I think my situation in this one would just be, I'm probably going to go quick. I'm not going to be the one who makes it to the end. I'm not going to be the final guy.
Right. I mean, that part, I put myself in that situation too, but I didn't see myself as the beer guy. I didn't see myself as Jason Mewes, the bartender. Just as Bozo trying to live, basically. Because beer guy was just... Well, his situation.
I mean, if we're going to do combination, I'd be between Jason Mewes and beer guy. Mm-hmm. I know that for sure.
Survival rate?
Something like that. Yeah.
I mean, fuck. I mean, it's not... Alright, it's like... It's not that you're not trying to survive, but you don't know when or if when they're going to pop up, how they're going to pop up. It's a surprise party,
Well, yeah. So if it were... literal me in that situation. It's realizing if you're going to play follow the leader or become the leader. Right? And then at that point, it matters who's around you. It matters who you feel is taking more charge in the situation or who's going to be making more logical decisions.
And then again, you don't know... Well, us as the viewers, the leader and the followers, they both are being taken out left and right.
Yeah.
So.
And then you come to find out, not even in part 1 or later on, that the bartender probably could have been a better suited at that time to maybe give better leadership qualities because he was a military man. But you didn't find that out till later on. But if I was going to say that my chances of living between 1 to 5, if it was me, I'd probably put myself right in the middle. I'd be 50-50, so I'd be 3.
A 2.5, 3?
Yeah, 2.5 leading to 3. It'd be right in the middle. I'd be really 50-50 on it in this situation. Really, because you start seeing how those motherfuckers can multiply, and that's where you start realizing, oh shit, might get a little difficult.
Yeah. What's up, Brandon? Straight out of Compton. Oh, Arkham, I'm sorry. I forgot.
Damn.
Yeah. He used it straight out of Compton, Brandon. So I was going to say, the thing you would, I know you wouldn't be that type what do I do? Start freaking out.
I'd
take action.
I'd take some action. Yeah, I'd do something, but it's tough seeing when you start replaying a bit of how those monsters were acting and breaking into the house. And
they were coming from everywhere. Top, bottom, left, right, bottom. I said bottom, right. Anyways.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. And like I said, these characters, this one's going to survive. No, being taken out. This one's not going to survive. And they make it, they make it more, they make it longer than, the actual hero.
Even more so. You even had one character who she was able to get into a car, or technically a truck,
the Dawn Blonde,
and instead of trying to help everyone else escape, she's like, yeah, fuck y'all, I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah.
And she ends up just leaving them there with the monsters. So you never know if you have somebody like that amongst the company.
Yeah, once they see their chance of escape, are they there for you or just for themselves? And
there's a lot of factors that come into play there.
It's really hard to tell what somebody would do.
Okay, so final rating. Feast, Part 1. We saw the unrated version of this movie, which would be what I would recommend probably.
Right.
Because I can imagine anything censored or anything removed from this movie will make it so much worse. So, 1 to 10, Mac. Where are you placing Feast?
Okay.
Part 1.
Again.
Don't consider the rest of the series.
No.
Just Part 1.
So from watching it back in 2010 and now, I still enjoyed it. But being that I watched this sober now compared to back then, I do have to rate it a little bit less. I was more conscious of what was happening, questioning a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I give it a good 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Like I said, the acting was. I didn't take it seriously because it was. You could tell the budget was. I mean, even though it was $3.2 million, it was still low.
It's a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
It's Sharknado.
Yeah,
but part one is a better version of the Sharknados. But okay, so me, I think I landed at a 5 out of 10. And the reason I place it there more so is because the costumes were fantastic. The death scenes were fucking really well done. At least the ones that we got to see. Everything that we saw when it comes to that was fucking great.
Yeah.
And it did have good humor to it, Some of the death scenes were humorous, and that made it that much better. Cody's death scene was fucking hilarious to me. I know it's not fun to laugh at kids dying, but that one was specifically very fucking funny. The biker chick, the way she went, fucking funny. So it got me with the humor part. Obviously, it is low budget, and that plays a role into where you place it. But I've seen low budget movies do a better quality film.
Oh, of course.
And even more so, the writing needed to be better. And I mean, actor-wise, it is low budget, so I'm expecting things like this. But I've also seen movies that have similar budget with similar kind of actors do a much better job. So that's the only reason I put it at a 5.
Nice. So that's part 1.
Yeah, that's for Feast, 1 unrated. That's the version we saw. And we jump right to Feast 2, Sloppy Seconds, unrated. And this one commences with a little quick flashback of the ending of part 1. And then we see the surviving girl that we saw run away with the truck by herself, Honey Pie. Shows up right off the back in the beginning. And then it just cuts to a town. It cuts to the town and we start seeing a biker gang driving around. Then what we see... Actually, no. Not going to the town. It's the biker gang going to the bar.
Yeah.
They go to the bar.
It's
the tavern from part 1.
Yeah.
And then we see the one kill that I felt worse about in this whole entire franchise. The dog. A German Shepherd that had no reason to die.
Well,
but they killed it.
I kind of see the reasoning. Thinking that the dog was the reason for...
I mean, she didn't know at that point still.
Yeah.
Because she didn't know until she grabbed that hand. But...
True.
She sees a dog walking around with a hand in its mouth. A human hand in its mouth. And she just kills the dog.
Yeah.
And takes the dog out. Puts the hand to her hand. And the tattoo she has on her hand matches with the tattoo on that hand. And then she realizes it's her twin sister's hand. Therefore, her twin sister is dead. And her twin sister was the biker chick that got blown up in the first fucking movie. So then the movie here takes the turn that annoys me the most. And I think Max saw me slightly going psychotic. Because it became a vendetta movie. It became a revenge film about this sister wanting to avenge the death of her sister.
Yeah.
And now she's trying to track down why her sister is dead.
In the midst of all this...
She finds the bartender.
Chaos going.
Which we thought was dead in the first movie. He looked like he was pretty dead in the first movie, but they somehow revived him. He explains, these monsters came in and we sacrificed your sister. She doesn't question the monsters. Doesn't ask, what do you mean monsters? She doesn't ask anything about it.
She goes into the tavern to check it out for herself.
She just goes, hey, where's this guy?
Who's the one that did the act and killed my sister?
Which ultimately, he wasn't even the one who killed the sister.
Exactly. And I don't know how the old man, the bartender, would know.
Well, because remember, they sent him and the owner up. So they knew he was up there. And
just chose him.
Yeah. But
remember, actually, too...
he was trying to save her in the first movie.
So, let's go back to Feast 1. When you finish it, do wait a few seconds.
There's cutscenes.
End credit scene.
Yeah.
But part 2, Sloppy Seconds, it was just... You could tell they went for the... Let's go for the kills.
It was more grotesque. It was more gore. It was more... it had
more of these characters.
More fluids.
Yeah.
More fluids of stuff that were unnecessary. Puking.
Yeah, it's a lot of vomiting, a lot of more sexualized monsters.
Yeah, they definitely upped the sex drive factor of the monsters like tenfold. Which isn't a bad thing. Like, it's fine. Okay, one of my favorite scenes has to be like the monster fucking the cat. That was hilarious.
There's some literal bestiality.
Yeah,
I guess you could say.
I mean, I don't know. It's a monster fucking an animal, so I don't know how much bestiality. Well, but technically, it's bestiality on camera.
It's a little pun.
But yeah,
mind you, yes. The cat's like clawing at the pole
and meowing the whole time.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Mind you, people, you could watch this film and you have the choice to turn it off, not look, fast forward. So it is your choice at the end.
Yeah.
Don't blame the film. Blame yourself.
We watched every second of it.
So yeah.
So what bugged me about this and frustrated me the most was the lack of acknowledgement from the main character in this movie, which ends up being the biker queen. Right? Yeah. She is the main character. It's not Honey Pie. Honey Pie was basically like second to third lead. Right? So, Biker Queen is the main fucking character because she's on a revenge path to avenge her sister's death. And that's the only thing she cares about. Even when she gets attacked by a fucking monster, her first question is that where the guy lives? Like, did you not just see a fucking monster jump at you? Did you just not see a monster eat somebody?
Somebody from her own gang gets murdered by the monster.
Yeah.
And she was just like... So, like, random saying, was like, where does this guy live that killed my sister?
Yeah.
And basically that's her own agenda, to find this guy... Yeah, you know, not surviving. Well, surviving...
Yeah, surviving to get to the guy.
Yeah, due to the crew.
Yeah.
Trying to survive for themselves, and she's just trying to find this guy, which she never does. And then their next objective is to go to the town's jail to find, what, an escape route or something?
No, it's just because it's the most fortified building. Okay. It's the walls are made of granite, and...
It's held up by a hobo...
Meth head,
crackhead hobo.
Yeah.
Which is funny as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get introduced to more characters. Like I said, it's the gang, all female gang, covered in tattoos. Breastises.
Yeah,
are shown.
That's a breastises.
Which they're shown in some, like, part of mid to ending of the film, which they were supposed to show throughout the whole film of part 2 and 3. But due to the actual people that lived in that town, they didn't want to offend them and whatnot, so they removed a lot of nudity. We get introduced to 2 midgets, Thunder and Lightning, which they have in the town. They have their own company called
Tiny Keys.
Tiny Keys. They produce, you know.
They also are a part of Little People Wrestling.
Yeah. So that's just random to put here.
Yeah, the little luchador. Shark. So, they introduced fun characters in part 2. I will say that. They gave you fun characters. We got the 2 Little People wrestlers. You got Carl Anthony Payne for Martin.
Oh yeah, Cole from Martin, the Martin TV show.
We got him in there.
He's a car salesman, right?
Yeah, he's a car salesman called the Slasher.
The Slasher,
because
funny.
He slashes prices. And you get a lot of weird and different kind of deaths that they got creative with.
Yeah.
They aimed to add a lot more CGI to this one.
Yeah.
And that played more into the whole Sharknado side of things, where it seemed more Sharknado-like.
Well, yeah, this one overall, just trying to cut it short, is, like I said, it's just, you know, entertainment. That's it. Nothing. The plot.
There is no plot.
There is no plot. So overall,
the plot is, where's my son? Where's my son? It's that cliche plot of revenge and ignoring everything else around you.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's fucking monsters, it makes no sense for you to ignore everything around you.
Exactly. So
I don't, like, it doesn't fucking matter what relative is dead at that point. Everything that's going on around you becomes priority number 1.
And then, yeah.
Like, it's weird to me, and it bugged me a lot. It really frustrated me to, like, no living end in that situation.
Yeah, so overall, it was enjoyable because I watched it with you.
Yeah.
But if I would have watched it alone...
So let's go ahead and rate this one. Let's rate this, because this one doesn't deserve fucking much more than that.
I'm between a 2.5 and a 3. I'd go for the 3. Like I said, it's just the kills, the little one-liners again.
Oh, the baby.
Yeah,
the baby.
I was going to lead to that, yeah.
Yeah, the baby in part 2.
There's a baby, which is played by the son of one of the actors.
Tom Gallagher.
Tom Gallagher's
who plays
son.
Greg in the movie.
Yeah, Greg Swank.
Yeah.
So it's a little fun fact.
With a mustache.
So there's 3 or 4 generations of the Gallaghers in this film.
Yeah. This
franchise, I'm sorry. But yeah, 3 out of 10. Like I said, you have some tits. You got a fake midget cock.
Which is
you got monster schlongs as well. More, you know.
Yeah.
Animals being penetrated, humans being penetrated. So
yeah,
it's a lot of penetration, and yeah, 3 out of 10, and I'm pushing that 3. What about you, Randall?
I'm keeping it out of 2.
Out of 2.
Out of 2, and I'm the only reason I'm not putting it at a 1 would be because of the luchadors, the wrestlers.
Yeah.
They definitely were a primary thing for me. Carl Anthony Payne was funny in his role.
Yeah.
And the baby. Because, listen again, I don't give a fuck about spoiling in this one. So what happens in this one is they hear the baby crying like all fucking night, all through the day. For some reasons, the monsters don't fucking go to it.
Yeah,
maybe it's the high pitched sound because it is high pitched. And remember, we learned about the high pitch problem in part 3.
Oh,
so maybe it has to do with that. But for some reason, they never attacked the baby. And then Greg, which is played by Tom Gallagher, the father of the baby, the actual baby in real fucking life, not in the movie, decides I'm gonna save this baby. Does a whole Tarzan thing in an impossible situation with an electric cable, also impossible, and swings down, gets to the baby out of the car, and then starts getting chased by the monsters. He's like, I'm gonna save you, baby. You're gonna make it. And then, like 2 seconds later, he's like, you know what? I'm sorry, baby. Throws it up in the air.
It's dramatic.
Yeah.
Green screen scene.
Yeah.
The baby just
the music was so fucking amazing in that scene, though. They play like really like soft, like violinish kind of music, and then all of a sudden, flat on the concrete, and the fucking monsters just come and eat the baby, and all you see are just scraps of the baby left. Fucked up, but in a sense, to me, it was fucking hilarious. That's the only reason I give it a 2.
Yeah. I forgot. So about the high pitch, it's a prophet. It's a prophet with
in part 3.
Oh, true.
Yeah. Now we're jumping to part 3.
I'm sorry.
So in Feast 3, which is going to get the quick 5-minute review. Feast 3, the happy finish.
This is the happy finish.
Which ends up being the end of Feast series because there was a 4th one supposed to be in production, but it never got pushed through fully. But it did start getting kind of worked on, just never completed. But in the happy finish, we get introduced to more characters, and then we also have the return of the ones from part 2, because part 2 ends with a cliffhanger, where a monster breaks into the roof where all the main characters from that movie are located at, and all you see is an end scene where that monster breaks in, they start shooting, you don't see what happens. Part 3, you see what happens, and they end up killing that monster and surviving it. Then you get introduced to other characters. You get introduced to the Prophet, which is played by
stand-up comedian Josh Blue.
Yeah.
Which has cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
And you can tell he has that's why we're talking about the high pitch with the
he's wearing a hearing aid, and you keep hearing a high ringing throughout scenes in the movie with him, and you start seeing that he believes he's a wizard, and he starts like he's wearing like a wizard cloak, and he's going around, away with you, beast, away with you. And this is him with his cerebral palsy, and he uses his cerebral palsy as part of his like comedic effect.
Yeah,
he plays along with it because he feels personally that it helps him keep motivated and himself uplifted instead of like looking at it as a fault, as a problem for himself. He uses it as a benefit. So he's using it in the movie as that, using it as he has some lizard power without realizing that it's his fucking hearing aid the whole fucking time. But all in all with this movie, like you had a return back to like the normal, what they did in the first movie. A lot of the effect of we need to survive, more so than revenge, which was great. You had some great kills, great death scenes in this one too.
Oh, definitely.
They went heavy on the CGI special effects on it as well. You know, it was a little bit out of place there with a few things. They added hybrid monsters.
Oh, that's what I liked a lot.
So that added to it. They added before they did puke, and the puke would just kill you. And they changed it to where I guess it was partially the puke, and then with Slasher, it happened when he got like F'd in the A.
Yeah, so basically, some interactions with these monsters where you get puked on. You know, you create a puker, stuff like that. You get
hybrids.
Yeah, hybrids in certain ways, and it was awesome. It was a different take.
Yeah.
Expansion of more characters.
Yeah.
One of my quick reference to his character, a Jean-Claude Seagal, a mixture of Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
We get this character, which is an actual like third-degree black belt karate champion of I think it's John something. I'm so sorry, I can't remember. Here you go.
John Allen Nelson.
No. I'm so sorry, I don't know.
No, it's not him.
This is not part 2. You're gonna go back to part 3.
This is part 3.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Go to the cast.
This is the cast. Starring.
Oh, then it's Craig Craig Henningsen. Yeah, Craig Henningsen. So, it was just a funny character to me. There's this karate wielding blade guy like Barack from Mortal Kombat. Or Baraka, whatever. So that was awesome.
He came off first as Baraka, and then all of a sudden became Liu Kang.
Yeah. All of these like kicking scenes. But again, it's a fun movie. The ending was just like, what the fuck? I don't really want to say it. I want to leave that to them.
He did stunt work in Malignant.
Nice.
The
ending was just a what the fuck to your face.
Yeah, the ending was not a what the fuck. The ending was a straight up fuck you.
That's how you take
the ending. Right? The ending was a straight fuck you to me. Mm-hmm. Like that was not an ending. I'm not like fucking whatever. I'm gonna spoil it. They ended with a fucking robot killing two characters, like two of the last 3 characters that survive. Why a robot? Where the fuck did the robot come from? Where?
But then again, remember, part 3 was supposed to be take place in the future.
I get that.
So,
but you were not in the future. Like, you weren't in the future. Mm-hmm. So it made no sense at all.
Made no sense at all.
It's like they said, oh, let's just use the ending that we had for our original screenplay for this, which involves future shit, and just throw a robot in there for no fucking reason, with no explanation, no details, no information, no nothing at all. And not only that, but to add the extra fuck you, they ended with a mariachi guy playing a song describing the entire fucking movie, word for fucking word. No, not even the movie, the entire fucking series, word for fucking word. And then what does he do at the end? He says, hey, there might be a part 4, but if you don't get any answers, sorry, don't blame me.
Don't blame me.
Jesus fucking Christ.
But yeah, overall, part 3, I give it a 4 out of 10. What about you?
I think I stay the same. 4 out of 10. It gets up there just because the death scenes were great, and you still got a lot of the same characters were still along with it for you, and the introduction of Josh Blue was great. The Karate Kid was great. We did a lot of good stuff with that, but man, it did extended long black scenes and extend like in where there was poor lighting. Epileptics do not watch this movie.
Honestly, one of the ending scenes, that was bad.
I don't know, but overall fun series, but part 1 is the best for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. So we're gonna end the review here. We'll be back shortly with not today, but shortly soon with more. We gotta finish Rec 4 and do more stuff. But if you want to go ahead and watch some fun killings and fun deaths, feast your series.
Yeah, get a little high, enjoy them a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Merle and Brandon that joined, thank you so much.
Yep.
This has been another Rand Review Films. Thank you so much, guys.
All right.
See you on the next one.
Yeah, fucking robot. What the fuck would you do a fucking robot for? Fucking John Gallagher. Fucking robot.